Matthew 7:21-29. Today's gospel is the concluding part of the Sermon on the Mount, where Jesus gives us two warnings. First, that we must match our profession of faith with actual obedience to the will of God. And second, that we must build our life on the firm foundation of his teachings. Jesus warns us against hypocrisy and challenges us to make a radical commitment to his word by putting it into action. Criterion for entrance to heaven. In the first part of the gospel for today, Jesus asserts that fidelity, both in faith and in its practice, is what gives one admission into the kingdom of heaven. Jesus is speaking about the future leaders in his church, who will prophesy, cast out demons, and accomplish deeds of power in the cause of Christ without stopping to reflect on whether they are obeying Jesus and living according to his ideals. Fine words can never be a substitute for fine deeds. We may deceive men with our words, but we cannot deceive God who reads our hearts. That is why the Apostle James advises us in his epistle, "Be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves." James 1:22. The obedient wise man and the disobedient fool. Jesus contrasts a wise man who practices what he believes with a fool who does not practice his religious beliefs, using the images of one man who built his house on firm rock and another who built his house on loose sand in summer, right in the rainy season floodplain of a river. Life messages. First, we need to build our family on a strong foundation. There can be no great marriage and no great family without a solid foundation. And that foundation begins with the husband and wife doing and being the love of Christ for each other and for their children. The members of the family must love one another the way Jesus wants us to love, to forgive each other as he teaches and practices on the cross. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. And to become servants of one another the way Jesus was to everyone. We need to synchronize our living with our profession of faith. The test of our Sunday worship is the effect it has on us during the rest of the week in our homes, schools, and workplaces, and the way it influences our relationships with friends and neighbors. The great test is the care, consideration, and sensitivity we show to our neighbors, many of whom would otherwise lack affection, words of encouragement, and forgiveness. Kindly subscribe for more from Reverend Father Clifford Atta Anim.